This is the SITREP at Operation Veterans Edge. 14 veteran bills passed the House last week. The Senate pressed VA spinal cord care, and DS Logon ends on September 30th. I'm going to talk about the things that changed for the VA in the last week. We're going to talk about why it matters, if you can do anything about it. But before that, I'm Chris at Operation Veterans Edge. I grew up in the military during GWAT. I was at the Pentagon on September 11th. I did my enlisted time at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. I served in 1st Infantry Division when I was enlisted. Then I did some time as an officer. I was in cavalry and tank units. And I like to help veterans. So if you need help with your VA claim, reach out to me and let's get that done. So jumping right into it, we have the House Committee on Veterans Affairs press release. Here it says, House passes 14 veteran bills to enhance benefits outreach, modernize and expand healthcare delivery to reach all veterans, safeguard VA supply chain, and also safeguard deployed service members' homes. Well, this came out on the 17th of September. And here from Chairman Boast, he states that 14 bills mean 14 wins for veterans and their families. And for the most part, I agree. Some of these are pretty good. Some of them are very administrative in nature and don't really, I don't know if they really impact veterans, but some of them definitely do. So let's talk about them. I won't go into a whole lot of detail. We'll do that in other shorter videos, but I'll give you a quick overview of what we've got here, 1 through 14. So number 1, delivering digitally to our Veterans Act of 2025. This breaks down to, I think we're going to see less snail mail from the VA and more of their official correspondence being authorized to only come through email. Seems like what that is about after reading a little bit about it. Protecting veteran access to telemedicine services of Act of 2025. It sounds like this one's going to open up the door for more telemedicine for different kinds of providers to be able to speak with our veterans online through telemedicine. Veterans Readiness and Employment Program Integrity Act. This has to do with VR&E. I'll talk about that in another one in a different video. You'll see down here at the bottom. Modernizing All Veterans and Survivors Claims Processing Act. That one's a big one, I think. This is, I know the VA is already using AI, but this formalizes it, and it really aims at getting AI into the process for doing VA claims. By the way, through a friend of a friend at the VA. I know that's already happening, but this will require Doug Collins to really formalize that process and how they use AI. And he has to go through some steps to do that. The Travel Act of 2025, HPSP Improvement Act of 2025, VA Hospital Inventory Management System Authorization Act. I'm going over these quick because I don't think they're going to matter that much to you. If you're really interested in them, leave a comment below and we can dive more into it. The Service Member Residence Protection Act, Rural Veteran Improved Access to Benefits Act, interested. Honoring Our Heroes Act of 2025. This one is pretty good. It is going to allow family members of deceased veterans all the way back to 1941 to have government-sponsored headstones. The Edith Norris Rogers STEM Scholarship Opportunity Act, Fallen Service Members Religious Heritage Restoration Act, Fast Vets Act. That also ties all the way back to that first VR&E topic up top that I'll pull up in another video here in the week. And then Women Veteran Cancer Coordination Act. Okay, so what does Stars and Stripes have to say about it? They do an overview. You can see here, I'll leave the link for this down in the video description as well. We got Doug Collins here. Headline, Lawmakers Advance Bills for Veterans to Expand Access to Free Gravestones, like I described, and deploy AI to process claims. This came out on September 19th. So here we've got right at the top, they're saying deploying artificial intelligence to process veterans claims and access to free gravestones for families of deceased veterans. Down here, it explains that gravestones for veterans, basically those who died all the way back to 1941, are potentially eligible in this case under this law for a government-sponsored gravestone. And then down here it states the why the bill would end a discrepancy in the law that prevented veterans who died during certain periods from being commemorated with the government headstone. So that's a win. That's definitely a win. I think I read it's like a 2-year trial period for this law if it goes all the way through the Senate and gets passed. My hope would be that a lot of those veterans' families who need that get that in that amount of time, and that if they don't, they would extend that 2-year timeline. Down here, the article jumps into Modernizing All Veterans and Survivors Claims Processing Act. This is that one about AI. It's an ambitious bill for developing an AI system to assist processing disability claims, survivor benefits, and pensions. What do you guys think? What do you think about AI on your VA claims? It's already been done, but I think this leads eventually to less humanized, more AI on your claims, as I've stated in previous videos. It's coming quick. And I think right now, really, it's all about just making sure it works. Like the train's already left the station. AI is going to be a thing in the VA, already is. And it's about making sure that that AI system is sufficient in processing your claims. The VA backlog of claims for disability is currently at 145,000 with an average of 95 days to complete a disability claim right now. Doug Collins has been charged with developing a blueprint for using AI that would be submitted to the House and Senate Veterans Affairs Committees. And then down here at the bottom, the VR&E stuff, the Veterans Readiness Employment Program Integrity Act would require the VA to collect more evidence to measure outcomes in employment programs. Basically, all that to say that there's not enough performance metrics, performance data being gathered and assessed to know if these programs are really being effective in helping veterans and securing future employment. All right, so then press release here on the tech modernization. Chairman Barrett, again, leads oversight hearing on modernizing VA care through artificial intelligence. And he states that, like many who have worn the uniform and received VA healthcare, I know the frustration when the system is slow, the paperwork stacks up, or the technology fails. All this highlighting the importance of getting better and doing things better, and AI potentially being the way to get to that. And down here we say artificial intelligence, or AI, the focus of today's hearing. Okay, so here he's generally stating, I'll leave this, again, link for you to read the whole thing if you want, but here he's generally stating it's already being used. AI is already being used in the VA. And it's not just for processing claims, it's also for helping in a host of other things and diagnoses and preventing veteran suicide. I'm kind of curious about that one. This section right here says, AI is also being used to enhance mental health care, and one of the greatest challenges we face as a nation remains veteran suicide. No doubt. In 2017, the VA launched Reach Vet program. This program used an AI model to help identify a very small group of veterans who are at the greatest risk of suicide. So that's what they meant by that. All right, down here, the promise of AI is real, but I want to be clear. Our job is not to applaud the promise. It is make sure that AI is being used responsibly. So then the rest of this just goes into the importance of AI governance and understanding that AI can be dangerous. It can leak your information outward to places that it should not go. Yeah, think about that when you're thinking about this whole thing as a problem. AI can be a real issue in that it can leak your personally identifiable information. It can also leak your private health information. So, good to know. Moving on, we have the Senate hearing on spinal cord injury and disorder, which also coincided with another Stars and Stripes article that came out on September 18th. The headline is, "It's a grave threat. Veterans with ALS warn of delays for critical care and supplies." So this ultimately is pointing back to the fact that reductions in VA staff is likely leading to delays in service, delays in medications, gaps in medications that folks need that are critical for their conditions. It's a really tough situation. Yeah. And then that article links back over here to the VA's layoff reductions. Originally slated for 80,000 jobs to go through major restructuring, and layoffs ultimately stopped at 30,000. Okay, veterans, listen up. This one's super important. So the login options for va.gov are now going to only be Login.gov and ID.me. If you are still using a DS Logon, you need to change that. September 30th, 2025 is the last date to be able to use that DS Login. So if you haven't changed, then you need to jump over here to Login.gov. I'll leave a link down below in the description of the video, and then go to create an account and make sure your account is created, or you can go to ID.me and you can go to sign in and create an account that way on ID.me. I actually have both. Then one last bit that's interesting here, if you think about the fact that we're moving to a different landscape of the Veterans Affairs in terms of AI, but we're also looking at VA ending special salary rates for IT workers. Interesting. I don't know how those two things add up, but there's been this period of time that has allowed VA IT workers to receive increased salary to attract talent to the Veterans Affairs Administration, and that's going away. So that's what this is about. So if we see more portal drops, we'll have to eye this and say maybe they should have kept that, but we will see how that goes in the future. Really, that's the wrap for the news. Yeah. I'm Chris at Operation Veterans Edge. I'm happy to provide you with this information. All the links will be down below in my video description. If you are a veteran who is struggling with a VA claim and you're really trying to get it done and you're having a hard time and that VSO didn't work out for you, then reach out at Operation Veterans Edge. We'd be happy to take a look at your claim. We don't lie about how long it's going to take to finish. It takes more than 14 days unless you just have everything already done. If it takes 14 days, you don't need me, I promise. It's going to take more than 14 days, but that's why I'm here. And I'm happy to help you. So reach out soon. There's changes coming in December. Yeah, they're coming in December. The date could change, but we know they're coming. They were supposed to come in August. So yeah, now they're coming in December. So we know that the VA does change its dates. All right, so that's it. Chris, Operation Veterans Edge. It's your claim, our mission, and looking forward to talking to you.